Who was St. Francis Xavier? St. Francis Xavier, also referred to as Goencho Sahib, Lord of Goa, arrived in Goa, then a Portuguese colony, in 1542. His primary mission, as ordered by King John III, was to restore Christianity among the Portuguese settlers. He died in 1552 on Shangchuan Island off China's coast. He was first buried on the island. The following year, his body was exhumed and transported to Malacca, where it was housed in the Church of St. Paul for several months. The saint's body was shipped to Goa in 1554 and kept at St. Paul's College in Old Goa, the first building constructed by Jesuits in Goa. The body was later transferred to Casa Professa near the Basilica by 1613 and placed in the Basilica in 1624. What happens during the exposition of sacred relics of St. Francis Xavier in Goa? Pilgrims and tourists from around the world will come to Goa for the 45-day-long event to venerate the sacred relics of the saint. The decennial exposition of the sacred relics of St. Francis Xavier, the patron saint of Goa, will begin on Thursday, November 21st, and go on till January 5th next year. Pilgrims, especially from the Catholic community, and tourists will converge in Goa over the next 45 days to pay homage to the saint, whose mortal remains will be put on public display for veneration. Considered to be a time of spiritual reflection, devotion, and celebration, the event will be marked by religious ceremonies including masses, prayer services, novenas, and processions. What happens during the exposition? The incorruptible mortal remains of the Spanish Jesuit missionary, St. Francis Xavier, one of the founding members of the Society of Jesus, have been housed at the Basilica of Bom Jesus in Old Goa since 1624. During the exposition, a 4-century-old silver glass casket holding the relics will be lowered from its resting place in the mausoleum at the Basilica in a private ceremony. On Thursday, the relics will then be carried in a ceremonial procession from the Basilica to Say Cathedral, some 300 meters away, where they will be kept for the following 45 days for devotees to venerate. Dr. Henry Falcao, convener of the Exposition Committee of the Archdiocese, said, "The exposition is veneration of the holy relics of St. Francis Xavier. It has been a tradition in Goa for many years. It is a miraculous relic and a sign of divine intervention. His body did not see corruption despite being buried several times, and each time the body was exhumed, it did not see corruption." The exposition is a spiritual event, not a commercial one. Over the years, it has also become an international event. For the Catholics, it is about renewal of our personal life and social life. It's an event of faith, to strengthen our faith in God, he said. When did this decennial tradition begin? Although the decennial tradition is relatively new, the relics of St. Francis Xavier have long been exposed to the public. The body of the revered saint has been looked upon as a miracle among the faithful, given that it showed minimal signs of decay. It is believed that the body was exposed for veneration of the public on his death anniversary in 1554. After the saint was canonized in 1622, the tradition gained further prominence. The body was later put in a coffin due to fear of deterioration of the relics and to avoid untoward incidents. In 1782, rumors circulated that the body of the saint was not in Goa and had been replaced by another body. Following this, a public exposition took place to dispel these rumors. Subsequently, in the latter half of the 18th century, the sacred relics were exposed at irregular intervals on special occasions, which came to be known as the Solemn Exposition. This became a more regular event after Goa was liberated from Portuguese rule in 1961 and has been held once every decade since 1964. Father Falcao said, "This is the 18th exposition. We are expecting over 8 million people to visit this time, though it is hard to estimate a number. During the previous exposition in 2014, over 5.5 million people visited.